Finally, now this is an interesting story, I think. There has been growing interest in a 4-day working week. We know this in the UK and around the world. Some businesses are praising the shift due to an increase in productivity, they say. But a Liberal Democrat-run council behind Britain's first 4-day week has been ordered to call off their trial because the scheme could be in breach of the Local Government Act. Whoops, it's been revealed South Cambridgeshire Council gave staff an extra day off every week while paying them full salaries in a 3-month test run and plan to extend the trial. But now it's been given the chop, and apparently all local councils have now been advised that they can't move to a 4-day week. Aaron, is this a bit authoritarian? Should councils be allowed to work 4-day weeks on the same money?
I think that local government should be able to experiment and try new things because that's how ultimately you progress and you find if something works or doesn't work. And I think this is really daft, frankly. You know, experimentation is the engine of progress. So the fact that, you know, central government thinks it's got all the answers and telling them what to do. Or disaster. Well, it could be precisely. You learn through mistakes. To have a good idea, you have to have a bad idea first. Yeah. But, you know, the idea that central government has all the answers, well, I don't think that's quite the case if you look at how the country's being run. So, yeah, a bit more experimentation. I don't think we'll go amiss.
So I was on Question Time in Liverpool about a year ago, which wasn't my audience. Anyway, it was a bit of a tricky evening. Anyway, but when I was there were local people who worked in the local council who were in the audience, and they were absolutely adamant that the government shouldn't be telling them to get back in the office. I can do my work from home. It's much better for my life. I'm an adult, blah, blah, blah. Do you think that maybe... Which way do you go? Do you go for this is a good experiment, or do you go for the lazy people working in local councils need to do better?
I mean, anyone being told, look, we're going to give you a day off. I mean, how are we going to turn around to doctors, for example, and say to them, I want you to see 25% more patients within a 4-day working week? How on earth are they going to do that, especially at this current time? It's impossible. So this is nonsense stuff. It's typical socialist, nutty ideas. And ultimately, if you're a council taxpayer and your council tax is going up, which it is, the Taxpayers Alliance say in England they've more than tripled to £2,000 since being introduced 30 years ago. So people are saying, hang on a minute, what am I paying you for? Back in the office, you lazy lout.
You lazy louts. I'm sure you've never been called that before.
Never,
okay, well prepared
never.
with your stats from the Taxpayers Alliance. Good stuff. Yes, I don't know, but I think the issue was that people weren't actually getting their services.
Absolutely.
And that's the key point here. It's all very well for a private company to experiment with 4-day working weeks, but when it's the taxpayer being impacted and not being able to, I don't know, get in touch about their bin collection that hasn't happened, then it's a little bit more serious.